Good morning. Thank you very much for the kind introduction, and thank you very much to the Ministry of Environment for the invitation to speak at this conference. So it's the first presentation, so I was asked to do something that would heat up a little bit the audience and make it a bit interactive and welcoming for this second day. So again, thank you very much for the organizers for being here and for being invited. My name is Xavier Jonas. I'm the Managing Director of Technopolis Group Belgium, working on a number of fields around the green economy, eco-innovation and resource efficiency, thematic and policy areas. When I was first invited to speak at this conference, I started to do a bit of a background knowledge and research. So I looked at the conference program, and I was really impressed by the presence of many companies, both SMEs and larger companies, and that was indeed very impressive. And then I said that this country here in Estonia are progressing a lot in the circular economy introduction in the real economy. But then again, I went to the Eco-Innovation Observatory, which is run by the European Commission and Technopolis Group as well, and I tried to look at the Eco-Innovation Index. And the Eco-Innovation Index has Estonia in the 4th place, but from the end. So the messages that we get from this country is the same messages that we see in most of the reports, or what the policymakers here also report, that this country here has huge potential to introduce resource efficiency and introduce circular economy business models, but there is something that is keeping us behind, despite the efforts of the government and the various ministries and authorities also at local level. The main reason that we see from the Eco-Innovation Index, from the Eco-Innovation Observatory and the various reports, has to do with two reasons. One is the mindset of the private sector and the businesses that still do not fully understand the business potential for shifting to circular economy. But in some cases, it has also to do with the capacity of the authorities or the intermediaries to promote, to push forward for resource efficiency and circular economy solutions to the businesses and to the SMEs notably. So this is what I saw as a background. So what we try to do also with the funding of the European Commission is to introduce the European Resource Efficiency Knowledge Center. And why did we do that? Some hard facts, as I demonstrate here in my presentation. A few months ago, the Eurobarometer did a survey across Europe, including Estonia, with more than 30,000 companies participating. And the survey was on green economy, resource efficiency, and SMEs. And what the Eurobarometer demonstrated is that 50% of the companies that introduce resource efficiency solutions demonstrate a major decrease in their production cost. What they also got is that in order to reduce their production cost and introduce resource efficiency solutions, they don't have to spend more than 1% of their turnover. So it comes with a low cost. And it is usually something that can be done internally without the major involvement of external support providers. So, and there is a payback time of less than 5 years, basically in every case. So, in a nutshell, introducing resource efficiency solutions in the companies and SMEs, we get major decrease of the production cost in low cost and with major benefits. So this is the general message that we want to send out to Europe and also here today. These are the results from the Eurobarometer. More information on where to get the evidence, the hard facts can be found in the two links, Eurobarometer for Estonia and the other link on the Eco-Innovation Index for the Eco-Innovation Observatory. So as I said, approximately 50% of the companies demonstrate a major shift in their production cost. So what we also saw in the meantime is that SMEs sometimes are less active compared to larger companies, and this is of course normal because SMEs do not have the resources and the capacity to do the changes that are required. But we also see that since 2015, there has been a shift towards asking for more advice from the SMEs to get assistance. So basically, this gives, in a nutshell, the background for the creation of EREC. So, what do we have in a nutshell? Back in 2012, some countries with pioneer leading organizations in supporting SMEs in introducing resource efficiency started discussing together on how to promote resource efficiency. At that time, circular economy, aside a few organizations like the one that was mentioned yesterday from Ellen MacArthur, were not working on circular economy concepts, but ever since, they were trying to introduce resource efficiency solutions in the business sector. So that started in 2012. At some point in 2016, the European Commission, DG Environment, DG Grow, decided to pick up and finance EREC. So the mission behind EREC was, in a nutshell, to help SMEs introduce resource efficiency solutions. And that we wanted to do by introducing a number of tools, a database, and solutions for the SMEs to apply. But we wanted to do that with the support of the business intermediaries, the business support organizations like the innovation agencies, like the chambers of commerce, like the clusters, etc., that they needed to get some capacity building and strengthening on their capacity to deliver services for the SMEs. So, at the end of the day, what we have been trying to do over the past 2-3 years is to, by introducing EREC, to become the reference point in Europe on the subject of resource efficiency for SMEs, discuss all the latest developments, and see how we can help the countries and the economies at the national and regional level to promote resource efficiencies in their economies. The European Resource Efficiency Excellence Center right now comprises of 26 members in 17 countries. You can see a few names from Zero Waste Scotland, Enviros, RAP towards the north, BAME on the south, UAPME. So across Europe, we don't have yet members here in Estonia, but we hope that we could change that because we really would like to see the Baltic countries and Estonia notably to pick up the specific subject. So 26 members in 17 countries, basically collaborating and working together on how to promote resource efficiency in their countries by exchanging knowledge, good practices, tools, and solutions. What are the main services that we have as an initiative, and I will show you in a minute, we have a self-assessment tool that covers 10 sectors and one horizontal subject, which is the office. We have a database of measures, technologies, and solutions, and we have support schemes, examples, measures across Europe. We organize workshops, we have newsletters, but this is the classic things. The main thing that we have basically is that we have a self-assessment tool, which I will show you in a minute, where an SME can go and use it and understand what can be done on their side in order to introduce resource-efficient solutions. And this is backed, supported by the database, which has approximately 500 measures, good practice, and technologies that can be used together with a self-assessment tool for the SME to quickly get an understanding on how they can introduce resource-efficient solutions. There are, of course, support programs and support organizations. Going back to the self-assessment tool, and this is online, and this is available, and this can be used by anyone coming from a small company, and this is also translated in different languages. This is the self-assessment tool where, as you can see, either in the office or in different sectors, a company can use it in order, as I said, to understand how to do the changes, how to introduce solutions that can help them save resources, become more competitive, decrease production cost, and of course, better brand and sell its products and services. So this is a self-assessment tool which is online. It is interactive. It can be, we can test it at a later stage if there would be time. And the self-assessment tool, when it's done, it is always accompanied by a tailor-made resource efficiency report. So your you're a company, that you're usually supported by a business support organization or an intermediary. You go into EREC, you see in which sector you belong, you do the self-assessment tool with solutions, you get a tailored report, and together with a tailored report, you have direct access to a database with solutions and measures and examples on how to do the change. And together with this tool, we also try to convey the important messages for the SMEs. So basically, what we get from the results, for example, is that by introducing this solution, you will save this amount of resources in the next years, or it will cost this amount of money that will break even, that will pay back in a very specific time. So by using the tool, we're not only trying to help SMEs introduce solutions, but we also try to demonstrate that this is feasible, this is not expensive, and it can have a major benefit in their businesses. This is all available, it's free, you can test it online anytime you wish, and doesn't require personal information nor personal data. As I said, there are support programs, there are contacts, and as I said, there is also the network of 26 organizations in the countries that can provide advice to the SMEs, but also to other SMEs agencies that would like to get involved in this project and build the domain around them. Some other typical example is that we can see that I don't have to read you the slide, but you can see that, again, you can save resources. You can become more competitive. This is the key message that resource efficiency for SMEs is trying to send. And this is picking up, and you can see it also in the European Union, in the European Commission, that they're working a lot towards the circular economy, which is one of the main societal challenges that are introduced with a new programming period after 2020. So there is a major trend, and especially here in Estonia, we also see that there is also major potential for the country, together with the ICT boom that you have and the smart specialization strategies. These are all domains that you can see a lot of synergies and cross-cutting effects. Some typical examples from our network that can also send a strong message on what can be done. I will give examples from two of our networks, IHOBE in the Basque Country and Zero Waste Scotland in Scotland. Yeah, that was easy. One of our network members, IHOBE, has been helping SMEs to introduce resource efficiency solutions for more than 25 years. And since 2000, they have supported 4,500 SMEs. In some of the projects that they do with the SMEs or in a larger context, some of the results that they get is that they see that, for example, 36 demonstration project saved 276,000 tons of material, and they helped the increase of turnover by 40 million euros and also created 160 jobs. So 36 major products saved 40 million euros and created 160 jobs. These are classical examples that we have in EREC that we are happy to share, but more importantly, we're also very happy for SME agencies, but also SMEs, to get information on how to do it. And we're trying to do this at a pan-European level. So you can see the slides. I don't have to explain the slides. So you see it. The results are impressive, and we have the knowledge to do it. A second example, as I said, is Zero Waste Scotland, that since 2012, 2013, together with the Scottish government, they have introduced a mechanism that has included funds and loans and subsidies in order to promote the introduction of resource efficiency solutions in their countries. So since 2013, they have supported more than 7,000 euros SMEs. And these 7,000 euros SMEs have introduced green products, have introduced new resources, have introduced eco-design, have introduced solutions on how to use better material, have been thinking on how to become more competitive and at the same time give back something to the community. So there is an effect which is larger than what we usually read on eco-innovation or environmental impact. There is a major economic impact, and for SMEs and for the society, and this is something that as an organization we're trying to promote. What else would I would like to say here? In case there is an interest for organizations from here in Tallinn, from Estonia, to join EREC, these are a set of services that can be directly provided and discussed. What we want to do is to build a critical mass around Europe so that we have more information on how resource efficiency can benefit the businesses and the SMEs. We would like to have more examples and case studies on how to do that so that we can go in every country in Europe and go at local and regional level, go to the grounds and work with the SMEs in order to introduce these solutions. Because we are convinced, and I'm sure that you are convinced as well, that this is the only way to go. Information, tools, networking, and knowledge exchange. These are the main services that can be provided by EREC. But at the same time, you become a member of, as I said, a reference point in the domain at central European level. Going back to the SMEs, we can directly support SMEs introduce solutions. I'm more or less done. I would like to see, I first met 2 colleagues from the Ministry of Environment back last year that were working on that are working on the domain, and I'm very happy to be here. And I would like to see more people from Estonian organizations to get involved in this discussion, in this debate, and become part of this initiative. Thank you. The site where you can get all information is here. You can see me as well, my contact details, anything that you'd like to discuss. Any questions, Jim? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I kept my time.
That was very concise, very precise.
To the point.
And we have some extra time to take questions, which is great. So meil on suurepärane võimalus esitada küsimusi, jätkata seda diskussiooni. Kas kellelgi hakkas midagi kripeldama või kui see on palju öeldud, siis kas kellelgi on mõni kommentaar siia sekka öelda? Palun.
Jaak Lokk, consultant from Technopolis in Estonia. I have a question about the SMEs financing of such events. If you were showing here the resource-efficient Scotland,
yes.
There are the very certain measures in United Kingdom, especially in Scotland, as you presented here, to support such activities made by the SMEs. Do you know, are such measures even in the other countries and something what will be centralized through the EREC?
All right, thank you. The European EREC, the European Resource Efficiency Excellence Center, already has more than 100 support measures in the database that can be easily accessed for any policy maker or business support organization at any level, local, regional, or national, and try to see if these measures can be transferred in a different context, geographical. So this information indeed exists, it is available, and any organization that would like to get more information from EREC is more than welcome to get in touch with us and see how we can help. And this is what we're also trying to say, is that we want organizations to join EREC, and then they can easily get in touch in the network with Zero Waste Scotland, with VDI in Germany, for example, or other organizations, with OVAM in Belgium, etc., and interact bilaterally or as part of the network in order to transfer examples, case studies, and measures. Thank you.
Palun. Yes. The next question comes actually from our next speaker.
Well, this is more like a comment on invitation, because we have a number of activities that finalized or are still running, actually working with a similar tool. So I think communication is very important in this stage. So to actually share these tools and actually make ambitions a bit higher, so we don't go and co-develop things. So my suggestion is basically that we offer to actually share data from our 400 to 500 SMEs in Denmark, and also actually hook up to the Nordic network where we actually plan to do similar things and do this capacity building. So we should build upon what is already there, that you have created. So I think that's just a comment to to everybody to actually seek communication and interact and build up trust. And then I think we can move much faster with high ambitions. So thank you very much. I was enlightened and I didn't know. So we'll keep in touch.
Fantastic. If I can briefly comment
Sure.
on that, Per, thank you. This is a fantastic comment. The first thing that I said in my presentation is that we face two challenges in Europe, but also here in Estonia. One has to do with the mindset that businesses need to understand that the resource efficiency is indeed the way to go forward. It's a business model before anything else. And the other thing that we said is that for organizations that we need to do a bit of capacity building. The third thing is indeed around communication. In EREC as a project, we try to build synergies with projects that are from Horizon, from Interreg, from international donors such as UNIDO. And the more information that we centralize and the more critical mass we develop, the better messages we will send out, the bigger impact we will have. So thank you, and we will take it forward.
Thank you. We have a bit more time. Kas kellelgi on veel mõni küsimus või ma saan ise küsida? Kas seal oli üks? Ei olnud. Nägin valesti. Okay, I'll use the time to ask my question.
I have a question too for the audience, if
Sure.
if it is okay.
Go first.
Because I was not able to attend the meeting yesterday. If we have here companies from representatives from companies, I would very much interested to hear what are the companies are doing in the domain and how do they see the whole challenge in introducing resource efficiency solutions. That would be a main question for me, because we want to help SMEs, so we also want to hear back from the SMEs.
But I guess this is a really big question.
Isn't it?
And we have the whole day to communicate. We don't have to do it in this official setting. We can do it, anywhere, as long as we are in the same building. But kas kellelgi on juba niimoodi puusalt tulistades jagada oma kogemusi, arvamusi sel teemal, mis just õhku sai visatud, et kuidas teie endi isiklik töökogemus on sel teel tundunud? Nobody wants to share information, so this is Estonia, the country of secrets. But I guess, you'll have a chance to talk to people during the breaks. So, haarake meie esinejal nööbist kinni ja vestelge, see on ainulaadne võimalus. Aga igal juhul avatus, informatsiooni jagamine on see, mille nimel me täna siin kokku saime ja see on see, mille nimel Agis igapäevaselt ka töötab. So, I'll ask my question.
All right, there you go.
As the last question, so we have 1 minute. Everything you're saying makes a lot of sense. I mean, if it comes down to starting a business, so you as a business owner, probably you have some sort of a mission to produce something, create something new, so you want to innovate. This is something that is already in the DNA of a business owner. And of course, the second mission is to gain something, of monetary value or of moral value. Whatever it may be, you start a business to gain something. You want to give something, you want to gain something. And what you're saying is that this new type of business model not only is good for the environment, but it's also more cost-effective in the end. So it seems kind of baffling to think that somebody would oppose that kind of view. But you definitely do have some opponents of the idea or skeptics. So what is the main skepticism directed towards your endeavors or the philosophy that you promote? What is like the main thing that people tend to throw at you?
We rarely hear something negative about it. What we usually face is lack of interest and lack of understanding and knowledge. So if you also go back to the Eurobarometer survey, you will see that 60-70% of the companies are not willing to do anything because they don't believe in it. So it's a matter of a mindset. What we need to send is a very strong signal, that is not only a matter of doing something for the environment, It's not only about doing something about the society, it's a very strong message that it's not only getting cost-effective, but also creating better services and better products. So overall, it helps you get a better position in the market. So it's a very direct business model that helps a lot. The main thing has to do, as I said, with the mindset. But what we also need to say is that the new generations, that the startup generation, the generators after the millennium, are the ones that pick up the subject more because they understand easier what needs to be done. So it needs time and it needs effort and commitment also from the intermediaries to send the message.
Well, thank you for being here and sending the message. Thank you.
I hope it did, okay? Okay. Thank you.
So, aplaus meie esimesele esinejale.
Thank you.